Welcome back to Mario 3. So we're continuing through Iceland. Stage 8 now.
You can play as Ice Mario.
Yes.
Actually, no, not really.
And surprisingly, this particular stage is surprisingly devoid of ice. Go on.
Again, I'll be honest, I'm really surprised Ice Mario didn't debut in this game since they literally do have the blue flowers.
That's a thing, Jova. If you played it on the Super Nintendo and GBA versions, they corrected the colors of the fire flower.
Yeah, we already established that those were the versions I played back then, hence my surprise at these blue flowers.
It's weird because
they keep it even consistent in the more clear versions of the power-ups when you're rolling for them in the slots, because they're blue there too.
It's abundantly weird because there's absolutely no reason for the fire flower to be blue in this game. It just is. I'm honestly wondering.
Blue is the most palette.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Blue is indeed the coolest color on the planet, like Sonic says. But the fire flower is supposed to be orange because it's a fire flower.
It's blue because the flames can be blue.
There is blue fire. Haven't you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Well, yeah, but the fire.
Actually, as a blue flower is a real thing. Don't you have like a gas?
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
It's kind of common knowledge that yes, colors other than red and fire show just how hot a flame is. Because believe it or not, blue flames are even hotter than red flames. Then there's stuff like white flames, purple flames, green flames, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if you have a colorant of some kind, color correction, you can also make bullshit as much as you want on that front. So that's how fireworks are made.
So yeah, by this point you've basically gotten to a basic groove. Dudes, you haven't said much. What do you think of the game so far?
Well, I mean, I think I did play a little bit of it on Switch Online. Again, as much as I did like it. But again, I suck at 2D platformers, so I get very far.
Sure, that's fair.
So you don't play Mega Man?
Well, I do sometimes play Mega Man, but I've noticed that. But again, it's like the ones I'm best at are the 2.5D ones, and as far as I recall, there's only three of them.
And that's why I'm handling most of the Mega Man stuff for Dwibs' sake.
Yeah, basically, Daisy, the plan is, well, at least my idea was that Jova handles X1 through 6, and I'll do X7 and X8.
We'll see about that in the future, too. That said, oh boy, Dwibs, I wonder how you might fare at the Mega Man Zero and Mega Man ZX Advent games.
That's okay. I dropped it after 20 minutes.
Well, only one game was called ZX Advent. The other one was just called ZX.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, Dedge, was that due to the gameplay or the plot? Because I wouldn't be surprised if either were the reason.
I had a difficult time adjusting to the gameplay.
Yeah, do you think
I'll go back.
Also, everything in this level is frozen.
Yes, it is in Iceland now, isn't it?
Basically, Jova, the only thing I know about ZX Advent is that a few of the actors in that game are from Mega Man X7.
I guess that's fair.
All I know about ZX Advent is the ending.
Is that what was supposed to lead into a third one that never happened?
This world needs to be rebooted.
Alright, let's go into the...
Alright.
Let's flip over the cards again.
Yeah, you know.
Fire flower. Nope.
This is the one time where I'm like, why aren't you using the instruction manual to cheat?
There you go.
I guess he forgot to use the instruction manual for that.
There you go.
If you need instruction, check out the enclosed instruction book.
Exactly.
Check out the enclosed instruction book.
Alright. That's about it. Alright, the next castle. Let's take down Boom Boom again. Boom Boom, by far the most persistent boss character in this game. There you go.
I do like the little the little clanking effects you get in the music.
Mm-hmm. This is something that later Koji Kondo would expect.
How did I survive that?
This is something that Koji Kondo.
Mario cheats.
This would be something that Koji Kondo would later.
I'll do more of it in Worlds, yeah.
Specifically with the Yoshi version of every single track, basically adding drums.
Oh, wow, you got. Oh, for a moment you had it in perfect placement there.
Galaxy 2 did the same thing. With at the levels that have Yoshi also have different variations of each music track with the drums, so.
Oh.
There we go. See, the thing about fighting Boom Boom and the Koopalings, you can use fire bullets. The problem is that it takes a shit ton of fire bullets to defeat the Koopalings, so you're better off just jumping on them.
This would be something that they would alleviate in later 2D games, where hitting them with the firefall, while it can take a bit of a while, is a viable option.
And this particular king was turned into a seal, and he's even playing with the crown. And he's even playing with the crown, even. All right.
Do it! Stop yelling!
Okay. And this time it's a blue airship.
Sure.
All right.
I think this is also the premiere in general between the Koopalings and everything that showcase a more direct gameplay way of Bowser and his children even use actual magic, have magic powers of some kind.
Well, the wands.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because nowadays the wands are kind of their own typical weapons as opposed to stuff that they apparently just stole.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, it's also not an exclusive, like not a universal thing. Only some Koopalings tend to use that.
All right. Yeah, the scrolling now starts getting a bit weird, where sometimes it looks like it's going to go up, but then it turns to the right, and it's just like, yeah.
I actually do like those bits since they keep you guessing.
All right.
Guessing you're a fan of the last level of the first Echo the Dolphin drove, huh? Welcome to the machine. Yeah.
No, I'm a fan of it when it's done well.
But what about the best Echo game, Echo Junior?
Why
don't you do that for the channel,
Also,
Dave?
that's the thing, Jova. There's nothing in it.
No.
It's not even a case of it's bad or it sucks or anything. It's just a ball of nothing.
Yeah.
Also, Tio, that one wasn't Iggy, that's Lemmy. Lemmy's the one with the ball.
Yep.
He looks like Iggy because he's incredibly green, but that do be NES coloring for you.
I'd say the king restored properly.
Whoa, that face is
very puffy.
Yeah.
Oh, thank heavens! I'm back to my old self again. Thank you so much. Here is a letter from the princess.
Don't join me, Bob.
I wonder, does Princess Peach
Greetings.
just,
I am well.
go to each of these kingdoms to see
Please
that
retrieve the magic
stuff is
as I
messed up?
Apparently she sends the letters to them, which for them to deliver Mario. I have enclosed the jewel. Why don't they just say? I get that they don't want. Okay, I guess power up would be too much of a generic term, but jewel, like none of these things are jewels.
Okay. I think the idea is that lore-wise, these jewels are what give Mario the power. Okay, one thing we have to remember was, before... Yeah, before the SNES, the Mario universe took itself a lot more seriously than it does. What do I mean? Well, let's not forget, a lot of this stuff was done by Bowser's dark magic back then.
I don't think
Whereas
I've actually...
nowadays, a lot of this stuff is regarded
look!
as that.
This reminds me of something, doesn't it?
Well.
Yeah, a little nod. This was actually probably the first time a Mario game has made a direct reference to a previous Mario game, in this case, the original Mario Brothers from the arcade.
Look at that, we're plumbers, with the pipes and everything.
Yeah. I don't think I've explained this power-up, actually. The P-Wing. The P-Wing gives you an immediate full P-meter, which basically means for a short time you'll be able to fly indefinitely.
Fun.
Yeah. So this particular level is a maze. A maze of pipes.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm all fine with this because Mario and a maze of pipes. Yeah, that fits.
There you
You
go.
actually got hit by that guy?
That's because my invincibility code is flawed. Well, actually, no, never mind. In this particular case, I was on it. However, I can say that and you'll be able to see this in later in later times, that the invincibility code that I did get is actually flawed. Sometimes I get hurt even with the code on. So it does at the very least keep me somewhat on my toes at least.
Honestly, stuff like that is part of why I never bother with cheats.
Well,
I mean,
Joe.
granted, aside from me just wanting to do it properly without the cheats, I found that cheats can often just screw with the experience sometimes.
Well, cheats are like everything, Joe. But there's ones that are badly made, and there's ones that are well made. I mean,
Just like ports and emulation.
well, like I said, like with everything. So, I mean,
Except for you, Pedro. You're perfect.
oh, am I?
Yes.
Perfect. Bro.
Stop it.
And if I'm so perfect, how come you were saying that Dwebs is more beautiful than me that one time we were watching something, the three of us?
That's because you're just the right amount of beautiful. Dwebs is uber
Exactly.
beautiful.
Basically, the three of us we're watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Prism of Light movie. At one point, me and
version?
no, the proper movie.
Bad one.
I wouldn't call it bad. It's goofy and silly, but hey, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! At its core, honestly.
I mean, honestly, Dej, I'll still take it over Bonds Beyond Time. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really is a shame. I mean, part of me does love Bonds Beyond Time, but that's mainly due to the fan service, and even still, it kind of mucks with that
It's also
too.
the only movie themed after both either GX or in 5Ds we ever got.
But hey, Tio, at least your country got representation because that's apparently where Jaden retired to.
You have to realize that most American fans were confused at the time of that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
because
heard it in the
GX Season
commentary
4.
I don't even know how the American audience would have reacted to Nitro, if I have to be honest.
Never mind the fact
I have
that
no
they...
idea what happens in season 4.
Hey, you want to know what
they
we're...
try to cannibalize all the previous villains and say, oh, there was a mastermind behind them.
Also, Jaden kind of turned evil in Season 4. It's
Which
weird.
Yeah, I
is
heard
so
he's
immensely
actually,
satisfying.
I hear that he's basically like a reincarnation of something kind of like Yugi and Farah.
It's a
That
bit
was
more
established in
complicated
Season
than that,
3, but... Yeah. Okay, let me basically sum
Yeah,
things up
that'll
here.
explain it because I'd rather
Okay.
just watch it.
That being said, you know what probably confused people the most? The fact that they reverted Yubel from her more feminine appearance for the 4Kids version to her hermaphrodite appearance, which was in the original version. Which, I guess, props to the English dubbers, which, come to think of it, weren't 4Kids still the ones in charge of that localization at the time? I don't think they were dead yet.
What were you referring to, Java?
You remember Bonds Beyond Time, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossover movie?
Yeah, 4Kids were still around at that point. They didn't die till 2012.
Were they the ones who were in charge of that that movie's translation and localization and all that?
Yeah, they were. Like I said, they didn't die till 2012.
All right, so this is.
Why did they revert Yubel's design then?
Alright, yeah,
oh, right.
Pedro?
As you can see, this is a classic, as a return to the classic style of Lucky 2 stage from the original Super Mario Bros. So, yeah, it's actually
I
around.
had one of these earlier in the game.
Yeah, it's actually around this point. So, like, if you're doing a complete run with no warpsons like I am, this is around. It's around this point that the stages of the game start to blend in a bit together. Again, the quantity over quality approach does pay off still in general, but it does show some cracks here and there when you compare it to something like the.
Again, like I said, to me it's mostly the aesthetic, which is why World, as we mentioned, is the perfect blend because it manages to combine these with a more aesthetically pleasing, looking in design.
I mean, the level
Say
design.
with actually playing these games minus the cheats, the differences show off a lot more in how you gotta play through each level. So I wouldn't say they're too homogenous. Granted, yes, there are some bits where it is more or less the same, this or that. World really did capture things. That said, I will admit, it's interesting to go back to this game and realize, while a lot of classic enemies did see their debut in this game, surprisingly a lot of enemies that debuted in this game either took a long hiatus, or still have not come back to this day. Which, is kind of weird.
It really depends on what they decide to bring back or not.
The weird thing is, I feel like Super Mario Bros. 2, the American version, had a higher ratio of,
enemies
mooks
that
that return.
And those are supposed to be, a dream, or ideally.
Yeah. Now, again, the idea some people go with is since a lot of those enemies did get incorporated into Super Mario World 2, aka Yoshi's Island, some people think that those enemies were born from Mario's subconscious from the enemies that he had to contend with as a baby. Which is damn. So let me get this straight. The Koopas who you fought in real life don't stick with you, but those enemies from your childhood do, Mario. I don't know how insulted Bowser would feel by that.
Like I care about how Bowser feels.
Meanwhile, with Bowser, he let Mario go threat-free in his head. If he played Odyssey.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
Fuck.
Pretty sure it's supposed to be the one on the left side of the chest.
I forgot, to be honest with you.
Can I just try again?
No, you only have 2 shots, Mario, each time you try.
Three. So a random number. Nobody liked it when I did number 2. But the first time I did number 2.
Yeah, the
Actually,
first.
a lot like the American version. And
Well,
I
that's
guess
why he
even,
said. That's why he said the first time he did. The first time he did number 2. So.
I was about to get to that. Technically, it was apparently a hit over in Japan.
Oh, it was.
So technically, people did like it the first time and the second time.
It does, but it doesn't change the fact that that game is evil.
It's also more a case of our brand name alone that, almost everything with Mario's name on it, Sally. The circumstances need to be very specific for why they not do it. The only major cases I think was the remake of Bowser's Inside Story, and that will be because very poor timing and not really that much of a demand.
Yeah, can I talk about how whoever designed this level is kind of a dick? Seriously, these constant bits where I just want to jump. Okay, now I can actually jump up, thank you. Jesus. I understand that you want to make these levels more mazy and shit, but damn. I mean, I guess I'll still take this over the mazes in Mario 2 Japan, but still.
It's something that gets more of a laugh or chuckle out of me as opposed to literal annoyance like Mario Brothers 2 The Lost Levels would.
Like I said, why is that even there? Just to force the player to go back further.
Just the software.
Actually, the idea is to make it easier for you to run across the surface there, given how you can't really jump that well due to the ceiling.
I guess. Fine. Yeah, lots of pipe traveling in this stage, as you can see.
I do dig
Honestly,
how
this
some
is
of
the
the enemies will
weakest
literally
world
roll.
for me.
Iceland?
Yeah,
Well, no, Iceland, no, never mind, sorry. Now we're in World 7, which, if I remember correctly, is... I actually forgot what World 7 is. I actually forgot what World 7 is.
Pipeline?
Yeah, Pipeline, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I forgot.
is that really its name, or?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I know that because in the credits they even say what the names of the worlds are. So I actually forgot about some of them. Actually, back when I first. took
Well,
over
I
this.
guess it's a world that's definitely down to its theming.
Mm-hmm.
You search for 5 Dream.
So so when are we gonna get a Mario game with Carland from the Super Show?
Let's have another one that parodies
That's
Star
Mario
Wars, why
Kart,
not?
Pedro.
May the pasta be with you indeed.
Starland. That would be Starland. Well, we kind of already had a Starland in Mario Land 2.
Yeah.
So yeah. Or is that like called Moonland? Now that I think about it, I forgot what the name of it was. I think it was Moon World. I think I'll have to go back and look.
Boss is Mac tonight.
Well, no. Well, that's a Vintail, the boss of that world in Mario 2.
It was called Space.
Okay then.
Ah. Interesting.
Indeed. Also, that pipe is not actually connected to the other one. It's actually floating slightly. You can tell. Like,
Whoops.
I don't.
I also noticed a lot of JPG artifacts when it comes to the coins floating.
Mm-hmm. It was a very common thing in the NES days too. So
Yeah.
the Game Boy Color also had some of this stuff since it was basically a handheld NES. There we go. Alright, and I guess there's nothing else. I might as well go straight to the castle. Moving on. Oh, this one.
Goody.
Okay. So this one, of course, has a P switch, which, like, again, turns all the blocks into coins, as you see. And it also makes extra doors appear. Yeah, the thing about the P switches is that they don't just turn the blocks into coins. That would be too easy. Instead, there's also certain entrances in some of these castles that only show up while the P switch is activated. Meaning, so, there you go. See, notice here. There's a pipe here, but you can go through it because this pipe is an exit-only pipe. So basically, the idea is to use the P switch and discover what new door that P switch opened. Which, again, remember, the game doesn't actually doesn't hint at that. So of course you have to basically every time you hit a P switch in this game, make sure you also explore quickly because there might be an extra door that the thing opened. So let's try that. There you go. Let's try this. Raccoon suit, or rather, Tanuki suit. Sorry, suit. Sorry.
That's the fatter one, yeah.
Again, I always, as a kid, I always called it backward, the other way around, because it always made more sense to me, you know.
You know, it kind of starting to remind me a bit instead of the Super Mario 3 Dick cartoon, because yes, after the Super Show they had 2 different new series, one for themed after Super Mario 3 and one centered, themed around Super Mario World. The Mama Luigi comes from the latter.
And that's the last episode of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. So it's not even a clip show. It's very just
there you go.
Yoshi's origin story, and that's it.
There you go. That's why they give you a Tanuki suit there, so you can go into this pipe in the ceiling.
But I distinctly remember that the Super Mario 3 cartoon had at least like one episode per power-up where Mario is actually afraid of using it for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
It gets comical really fast, like an episode where he's afraid of swimming and thus he's not using the frog suit.
You must be
that was stupid.
You must be Mario. You must be Luigi. You must be kidding. This place is a dump. Ha! That's some brilliant comedic writing on the Super Show, ladies and gentlemen.
I think after the Super Show they did drop the live action segment.
They did, yeah.
On one hand, Lou Albano will always be a treasure.
Oh yeah.
To me, but
did he also voice Mario in the animated segment?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
But only for the Super Show, if I
Lou Albano was the first ever guy to voice Mario in English. Because this was before Charles Martinet was hired, so. In fact, one credit I'll definitely give to Miyamoto is that when he first heard of Lou Albano's passing, he actually did say that he was. I wish he didn't have told that to me because he apparently was genuinely sad about it. So even though he wasn't his Mario, apparently Miyamoto did have some appreciation for Lou Albano, so that's nice. Okay, this level. Basically, this level is kind of the original level of those that we see in a lot of modern Mario games, where there's blocks of arrows that go into specific routes, basically. So you can kind of see this as the first level to use this kind of gimmick that we see a lot in more modern Mario games. Especially, like, for example, something like Akin 2 in the Hazy Maze Cave in 64, where we also have that block with the 4 arrows, and you have to press the arrows according to where you want to go. So in here you jump, see? So you can kind of see this as the first attempt at this particular level gimmick. There you go. See, I had the cheat on and I still got hurt. So it happens sometimes. So, but the point is, just the thing is, the block, as you guys saw, is temporary. So you have to try various things. Okay, let's see if I can. There you go. And fuck. Let's try again. Almost there. There we go. Oh.
Barely made it.
Barely made it. What? What was the like? Ooh, just what I needed.
Yeah.
No problem. That's my favorite. Alright. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, when you think of stuff like Hazy Maze Cave and some of the stuff we see in 3D World, yeah, this was basically the precursor to that. What is it, Edge?
No, I just say, except though, this walks so they could run. Maybe not Hazy Maze Cave.
You would say it's a bit of an early installment weirdness.
Well, Hazy...
Not so much early installment weirdness, because this sort of ties into that. Again,
Sure.
more like a prototype of sorts.
Well, Deji, I will argue that it's the same basic principle, even if it's different. Like in the Hazy Maze Cave platform, you have 4 arrows and you pick the direction. Yeah, it's technically different than jumping on the same platform to change its direction, but it's still the same basic concept of changing direction on the platform you're moving in. It's still the same basic principle. It's in the same basic concept. So, I'll argue it's fine. All right, tune in for the next part, everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.